Hi guys, Jason here from Mac School. Just a follow up of not really the market analysis, since this is the middle of the week for this week itself. Just want to follow up on the structure that the previous video I have shared with you guys on market structure and how we can take entries and which area we can wait for. So for GU itself, for this pair, this is pound versus dollar. So what had analyzed on the previous video was mentioned saying that when the price was around here on the beginning of the Monday opening, personally, I would like to look for a buy. Remember, if you were to watch the previous video, I'm looking for a buy. So once it start to fall down, the position for where we can start looking for buys any area below here. The reason behind it is because price kind of like do a the I did mention price did this, right? The whole price factors is pushing upwards. You can see smaller. Yeah, so we don't want to go against this trend. So what we can do is we just want to wait for the whole structuring to form. Then once the structure form already, there's a weakness in the price itself, then we can actually look for any buy here. In terms of price action H4, there's something here already which we call it the harami. Alright, if you guys were to took the harami here and the harami breakout, or yeah, inside bar breakout, whichever you guys want to call it, it's good profit here. Then once it reach here, I would yesterday itself, I'm actually looking for a sell once it move up already. The reason why I want to look for a sell because price did consolidate here, it did broke out, then back up here again. Then this structure have the market structure tend to have a tendency to kind of like look for a sell towards here. Unfortunately, there's nothing of a bearish indication or bear market, nothing, zero. There's a small little bag that came in here. I did took an entry of a short here, but it didn't wipe out my SL. I cut my small little profits before it went back up again. I did rescue, not really a rescue. It did profit a bit. Then I saw a formation of a rejection here already. I cut off my position on a small little profit. It's more towards a break even, right? Then I was waiting the whole time for this structure to have a push of a momentum, and interestingly enough, thanks to vaccine positivity or vaccine acceptance saying that it's able to um, cure the new strain of UK COVID strain, and today economic data was rather good, I would say. It's actually very good. That sided to pound, then this was the cause that the next climb, the next leg. And the next leg somehow was kind of like jam up over here on a very key resistance, I would say. The final resistance or the most recent resistance that the price had went to. In this situation, I would not short the market yet because there's not yet any indication of a bear. There's non-bear shown here. See, for every drop of a price before it continue of a dive, personally, I would like to see some bearish bar, some bearish bar here, some bearish bar here. Even though it's come back down, it want to go down, or it want to go up, I would look for some indication of bullish bar. If I want to buy, I want to buy it with the bull. I want to sell, I want to sell with the bear. But if there's no bear in between of this, a little bit of the bear coming in. All right, let's see by 10 o'clock what this is from, because this new bar is actually a 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock bar for 4 hours. So I would like to see what this being formed by 10 o'clock. Then only I'll make a decision what I want to do with the market. If the price decided to boom all the way down, too bad for me. But I doubt so, because after all this push for the price to immediately within 4 hours to dive all the way down here, never seen that before, but possibility is there. But the possibility or that probability to happen is lesser, I would say. So I'm waiting for a short over here because that's the maximum the price can go, and see how far this can lead to. Don't know one. So I'm waiting for a short of a market here. If a bearish bar being formed or a pin or any indication saying that sell, rejection. Based on rejection, I would actually take a short AD from here. All right, this is GU. Then let's go to the next one, GJ, pound yen, or in my country we call it Garis Jepun, GJ. All right. What's going on here is the same. This structure very similar to pound dollar, and I'm not too sure I did mention this pair back in the previous video or not, but since this is here, same structure, same concept, same, exactly like GU. Correlation between GJ and GU, it's almost 70 to 80%. They move together concurrently. They kind of like tends to have the same movement. So if we were to analyze GU, it's kind of like have the same, almost the same similar structure like GJ. So same thing. I would like to look for a short here, but based on massive rejection, massive rejection. So once you find it, you can actually flip to smaller time frame and do whatever you guys wanted to find as an entry. Because when it comes to market structure just tell us where the market might want to go by possibility or by probability only. There'll be no 100% sure win thing here, right? So let's get to the next one. EU on the midweek itself. I did mention saying that EU, when it comes down already, we would actually look for buy, but I didn't take any buy for this position because for this price, for it to float back up, I can't find any positioning or any area that of interest that I actually wanted to do, because EU tends to move on a much bigger time frame. When it goes up, it comes back down. If I were to want to buy here, it will be, I'm going against this. So rather than buying, I'm actually looking for a short. So what happened here is there's a rejection over here that being formed already. So once the rejection formed already, I can actually go to a smaller time frame. Sorry, not this. Here, the rejection being formed here already. Let me go open bigger and bigger so that you can see. Here is the rejection. See, for a price to comes back down here already and it goes back up, all the bull, or the pushing phase, we would call it. We don't want to go against this pushing phase. It's like price is still pushing. There's no indication of any bearish indication or the sellers coming in until here. The first indication of a seller. So I did a sold after this when the price went back up on the smaller time frame, in the entryway that I look for some areas here or area of interest in the smaller time frame for me to do a short, and I'm still holding a position from a price of around here 40 50 around here. I did a short over here. Now it's profiting, and yep, let's see how it goes. Okay, my SL is right above here and my TP is around here. Okay, so this is for EU. I've taken a short. This is what I talk about. When the price push phase, don't go against it. Don't say that, hey, price very high already, let's short it. Very high already, let's short it. No, it's really crazy to do so. What we can do is we wait for the indication of back. That's what I do. Most of the time, I'll just wait in H4 every 4 hours. Like, hey, where's my bear? Where's my bear? Okay, show me some bear. I want bear to come in when the bull is in control, so that at least some indication saying that, hey, bull is losing its momentum, the pushing phase is losing its momentum, right? That's for EU. Then for EJ itself, it's almost similar, like I mentioned on my previous analysis that I share. Price been consolidating, goes up, eventually broke down. When it comes over here, I did mention saying that I'm not buying this. I'm actually looking for a sell over this zone when the price goes back into this area of interest of mine. Why? Because my resistance, the broken support, I would like to let it enter, because market tends to like to do consolidation, breakout, retrace, look for some signals here and sell it down. So I've managed to wait for a few days. I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I took an entry today. And yeah, why I took an entry is because, yeah, same pushing phase. Can you see a massive pushing phase done? Indication of a bear or the seller came in And yeah, this is the area that I marked based on my technical entry that I took over here. I did yeah, just nice. I took pucuk well, I just bought. I did a pre-order and kind of like bought it right here yesterday and waited until today. Then I have my second entry around here when it came down a bit, and my SL is just right above this area. The reason why I put here is because I just flip to a small time frame. That's the way I do entry. If you guys have a price action, waiting for a price action candle, there's a bearish engulfing here, then there's an indecisive, there's the harami here, and inside bar break, I would call it. And yep, yeah, you guys saw it's actually a nice entry for H4 as well. You can actually go to H1 and find it. So I'm still holding a position here and see how it goes. All right, for AU is the interesting one. I'm still okay. I did mention saying that yeah, I would like to buy. Then when price is around here, I kind of like guided on this. Let me show you. First one I guided because there's a rejection and boom. Okay, that's last week. Okay, then on Monday itself, I'm still looking for a buy, and eventually managed to take some entry over here, and it goes back up. Why I want to buy is because it's ranging. It's very obvious the price is ranging. Look at here, how many rejection over here. So one rejection, two rejection, and three could be a third. It could be breaking the place itself. But let's have a look at the bigger picture. The price has been pushing up. What's the chances of this being broken? By probability, lesser, I would say. We have an edge if we were to buy. So they tried it already. Now same, I would actually want to see what's going on. I'm still monitoring here, even though I actually took an entry here just to share with you guys. When the price went up, I profited, but when the heavy rejection happens here, let's show you a bit. Okay, when there's a heavy rejection here, indecisive, harami, a break, heavy rejection, I actually took an entry when it retraced back. Once it retraced back over here, I didn't expect the price to have such a massive push. So the structure failed, and I'm still monitoring what's next for this. If for now, AU, I wouldn't be buying or selling until I can confirm this will continue to go back up here or not, meaning will have a chance to go back up here, or actually there's a massive rejection here. I wouldn't call this as massive rejection. It's just an indication of there is bear or seller indication coming in, but it's not good enough for me to take any consideration of shorting the market yet or even going long. Is because it's very uncertain. It kind of stuck in between of the console or the range itself. When it's stuck in between, there's a possibility of this might happen. If I were to buy, there'll be a lot of pressure or a lot of sentiments needed to push it up. If I were to sell, okay, I'm just halfway of the ranging market, I would say. So for this buying, selling a bit tricky. I tried here already. Price decided to go back up, and moreover, there is a very interesting momentum push over here now. So I'm still waiting what's further. Shorting now, not yet, I would say. Going long, I'll put it aside. So this pair, further monitoring needed. Okay, for AJ itself is the same, very similar. This a bit, I bit all right. The reason behind it, because same, I want to short the market for this structure is because price consolidate, broke, retrace, waited for a certain signal to short it down. Unfortunately, once this form, the price retrace back here, it this idiot decided to wipe out my small little SL here, which is quite near, by a hairline push. So I'm not entering any position yet for this, but I am considering if whether I want to go back in or not, because it's kind of like interesting. But depending today, based on today Biden inauguration in my country, there will be 11 o'clock at night, or in US it will be 11 a.m. in the morning. There might be some volatility, okay, but to me, I'm still biased on dollar strength. The reason why I'm biased on dollar strength is because the policies that Biden have in terms of bias, or in terms of sentiments, it's more towards sided more towards corporate tax. Even Yellen did mention corporate tax yesterday. So when she was having a hearing with the Congress, so we can see that it might move towards that. This I'm all a little bit more on the fundamental. I did implement some fundamental when it comes to trading, and that might affect corporate tax and might affect share market, and index might drop. I'm talking might only, just a possibility only, a scenario. If index drop, there's a probability that dollar will be strengthened. That's why I've been seeing dollar been pricing in towards Biden inauguration. If we have a look at the dollar index later, you can see that price being strengthening recently, because it's doing a pricing in towards the inauguration itself, thanks to the policies that he wanted to do, his administration wanted to do. That is practically going against what Trump did. Whatever Trump did, they want to take it back and tear it, put it aside, and go back to normal, I would say. Trump did a mess in the world, like it or not. All right, that's for AJ. I'm still considering whether I want to short it or not. It's a good place to short, and yeah, I might short it in a while. All right, this is a good place, so need to find some entries. Okay, let's go to dollar franc, dollar Swiss. What's going on in dollar Swiss? Its price been ranging, so it's very obvious. We can short it here. We can buy. Nah, not good enough to buy yet. All right. Okay. Would actually, okay, for this pair, this is the interesting part. Since price is consolidating here or ranging here, let's wait for it break here, or it break here, then only we decide what to do. If it break here, then the price comes back here, and we will do a buy. And wait for this area. If we decided to go down and break here, then we know what to do. Price goes back in this area and we do a short. So it's the same concept. Why? It's because it's market structure. Just to share a bit with you what I'm aiming for when it comes to market structure. I think I did draw here on my GN. Here you go. This is what I talk about. Some refreshment, or if I haven't shown you. So when it comes to market structure, the whole system is very simple. A breakout retrace signal. So resistance, support, breakout. I don't sell on breakout. I wait for retracement, wait for a signal here and sell. So that's this. This is the reverse way of this. And the other structure is actually a trend. So a trend form, I can form my resistance, I can form my support, and do for a signal over here. This is the reverse way. So when it comes to franc or dollar Swiss, still need to wait. I still want to see what's going on here. All right. If you guys will play ranging one, it's a good area to sell, and a good area to buy. So that's the maximum area until it's being broken. Okay, when it comes to dollar yen, it's the same thing. It's ranging as well. So let's see where it want to break. Okay. Just now I did mention saying that dollar index, see, it's been climbing. Price been strengthening slightly towards Biden inauguration. Price been diving like shit because of Trump policies. Trump policy sided more towards the share market or the index or the market itself. So if the market is strengthening like crazy, dollar tends to have lower value. It's a dynamic that we talk about. It's a kind of a fixed dynamic, depending. So the whole year been running towards the dollar dynamic. So when it runs on the dollar dynamic, so that's where we see the tremendous weakness in dollar, the no demand, because share market is like so ultimate high and high and high and high. So it's more towards a correlation when it comes to market, not analysis, that's fundamental analysis, right? We can see this, and yeah, why? Well, we can actually look for a very we can see by 10 o'clock if things still this bar being formed, you can actually look for any pair that versus dollar that it's weaker one and short that pair. Like if you find out that euro is weaker, short that pair. If you find out that pound is weaker, short that pair. The reason why is because the first indication here already. Can you see the structure that I talk about? Okay, a climb or a trend, price retrace, it broke out here already, it retraced, created a pushing phase, or not really a pushing phase, this is a pushing phase and the buyer indication. So once the buyer indication comes in already, that's where I start to go into smaller time frame to look for my entry after this bar closes. That's how I do it. I need to wait for the H4 to close as it a bullish bar first if I want to buy, and if I want to sell or short the market, I would wait for it to form a bearish bar for me that indicate that at least there's some presence of buyer or sellers there. Because if I don't wait for the price to close within that 4 hours itself, there's still having a chance saying that the price might goes down here and close as a pin, the reverse. I think the guys call it a hammer or hanging man, can't really remember, but it's a pin, reverse pin. Or it can actually goes all the way down here and create a bearish pin, or it could be like go further and further within that 4 hours itself. So I would prefer for it to close first. So that's for my analysis for the midweek and what I have done. So again, pound dollar, nice. I didn't took the whole I didn't took the oh yeah, I did entry, but I didn't take this whole thing follow all the way here. I 3R run already. I run away with 3R. Pound yen I did it as well. All right. Hope that you guys understand this follow up and clarify a bit on market structure. If you don't understand, just join my Telegram, ask the question there. Thank you very much for listening to me. Have a good day, and let's see what inauguration happens later by 11 o'clock. Anyway, market been quite quiet the whole Asian session and also London session. Okay, bye, see you again.